people start a fitness journey, the vast majority of them are doing it for aesthetic reasons. They want to look different. This is not new news. I don't think I'm shocking everybody. So it makes sense then to track that, right? You want to look better? Well, then pay attention to how you look through your workout. Or does it? There may be better ways to track how you're performing or how are you doing or how you're progressing that will lead to better results with how you look. Let's talk about that. So I'm going to ask you guys a question. I know the answer, but I'll pose it as a question. What is going to accomplish better overall results? All results for somebody. All the results somebody could want from a fitness journey, okay? Tracking their appearance or tracking their performance.
Would you include body fat tracking in that? Where would you categorize that? Because it's definitely, that's not a performance thing.
No.
And it's arguably an aesthetic thing, but it's not the mirror. It's not the scale. It's a little more,
I think it's
objective.
It's more, that's more towards the looks than it is towards the performance.
It is.
Yeah.
So
the reason why I bring it up,
and I'm making it a black and white. So you know, if you have to pick one, let's do that, right?
Strength performance, all day.
Well, the reason why I threw that in there is because obviously I know that's the direction you're going.
Yeah.
But I actually still think it's the better answer.
Regardless.
Even the body fat percentage.
Yeah.
Which I think is a really good objective number that coaches and trainers use.
Sure.
And people go like, okay, we're building more muscle.
I agree.
But I still think
I agree.
And that's why I brought it up. Obviously, I knew if we talk performance in the mirror, anybody who's listened to this podcast longer than 2 weeks has heard us communicate that. I mean, that most of our live callers call in, and we know that one of the things they struggle with is they're always looking at the mirror or the scale, and it's so deceiving and it sends them down the wrong path. And so one of the number one pieces of advice I think that we give consistently is get rid of the scale, get rid of the mirror, track your performance, focus on getting stronger, get better at the movements. And so we preach this. And so it's not a surprise that you're going to say that. But I do think someone would try to make the argument for, well, what about body fat percentage? Because it shows you. But even that can be very not only misleading, but discouraging, because there's been times in my journey, somebody who has tracked body fat percentage more than the average person, I would say, probably
fluctuates.
I don't know too many people that have tracked that data more than I have, because I did it for a sport. And when I would do that, I could get really discouraged sometimes when I was dialed and I went the wrong direction on the body fat scale, you know? And anybody who watched my journey on YouTube experienced a little bit of this, and if I was hung up on just that, and I didn't have the experience and knowledge that I had, I easily could have thrown my arms up and been like, what am I doing? I've made all these great sacrifices nutritionally as far as desserts, and I'm eating the way I'm supposed to, and I'm training hard, and then this result didn't go the way I wanted to, easily could throw my hands up.
Well, even if you just pay attention to body fat, it could mislead you and convince you that, you know, you need to aggressively, let's say, do cardio or do something
or restrict
just sort of change your entire approach and protocol in a negative direction just to manipulate that one factor versus, you know, performance itself is the pursuit of it takes care of a lot of aesthetic and a lot of body fat and a lot of like muscle building attributes that will carry you so much further.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's one of the points I make is that one of them leads to improvements in the other one doesn't.
Yeah.
So chasing a look doesn't lead to. It's not like a guaranteed lead.
Not guaranteed.
No.
It could, but it doesn't mean that.
It could, but it often doesn't.
Right.
Lead to improvements in, let's say, athletic performance, right? Which looks like strength, stamina, mobility, just being able to move better in your body with better fitness. It doesn't always lead in that direction. Better performance almost always leads to a better look. So that's one reason why it's better. The other thing too is neither one of these is perfect, because you could chase performance and go above and beyond, right?
Especially PRs or something.
Yes.
It could really take you.
Right. You could sacrifice your life quality and health in the pursuit of either one of these. But one of these almost immediately leads to the sacrifice of health and looks. If somebody's starting a fitness journey right now and they're just looking at the mirror and the scale, they almost immediately sacrifice health, performance, fitness, because to them, first off, it's subjective in the mirror, which is already distorted.
Yeah.
People are like that with themselves. We know this personally and with clients. And they stop paying attention to the other metrics. Whereas when you're, as a trainer, I'll just say this right now, as a trainer, looking how my client looked, that was important. I could see that they're getting more fit and getting leaner. Like, that was important. But the objective performance measures in the gym were always a better gauge. They were always a better gauge. This is even true for like the studies on muscle and how healthy muscle is for you, what muscle does for your body with insulin sensitivity, with longevity. Really the metric they use is strength. It's not muscle. So it's a grip strength test or getting up off the floor.
Yeah.
That's a better correlate to better health than just how much muscle you have on your body.
Yeah.
And this is going to be made even more true in the future with these drugs that they're trying to create to counteract some of the effects of GLP-1s, right? These myostatin blocking drugs or whatever. We had Dr. Seeds on, explained it very well. He's like, you're going to have a bunch of people with more muscle who are more like they're obese than they are muscular in terms of their health. So performance, if somebody goes and starts on a fitness journey and dramatically improves their performance over 2 years, they're stronger, more stamina, better mobility. The great odds are they're also leaner, look better, more sculpted. Like, you're going to be able to tell. If that same person for 2 years just focused on the mirror and the scale, then the odds are they're going to go oftentimes in the wrong direction. And we see this all the time. So that's why I think it's a good discussion. And it's especially good because what people sign up to do is change how they look.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then
90% of the time.
Yeah. And then the other stuff is like, yeah, it'll be good to get stronger. Yeah, it'll be good to move better. Like, that'll be good too. But I really just want to get rid of this belly.
What do you think about what even Justin said? Because you could make the case and argument too that performance could lead into the unhealthy place also. And then I think we have seen this with the adoption of PR. When I started training, even when I started as a personal trainer, I didn't know what a PR was. I remember when people first started using that term, I didn't know what was a PR. Like, that wasn't like it's not like a staple fitness term.
It wasn't common terminology.
Mm-hmm. No, it became a thing that we started to chase after. And I saw how unhealthy that could be. So to his point about even that, is there even a better way than saying chasing performance? What about chasing movement and like just getting great at movement? And part of getting great at movement is the ability to get stronger through the movement.
Here's what's great with performance. First off, you have to chase it for a while before it becomes bad. So you take a beginner and they're like, I'm just going to get stronger. There's a good 3-year period that's going to benefit them. Now, after that, you start getting extreme. Now you're starting to sacrifice or increase risk of injury. That's a good point. The other thing too is overall performance has checks and balances. Yeah. Right? So can you chase strength too far? Yes, but what if you're also concerned with stamina, endurance, and mobility? Well, there's checks and balances.
Well, yeah, and I think in that regard, because then you start getting into like training aids and like belts and certain types of compression gear and all these things to kind of help you pursue like a greater output. However, you're masking the signal of pain and you're masking the signal of dysfunction. And so, and I guess the purist in me, if I'm just like focused on real performance, you have to listen to those body signals as you go through the process. So there's an area of need to stabilize and reinforce around the joint to build up your overall strength and to actually get more out of it. But if we're just pursuing it in terms of one specific lift or one thing that I'm just going to ignore all my body signals and signs and pursue this goal exclusively, it can be problematic.
Today's giveaway is the Super Bundle. If you want to win, leave a comment below this video in the first 24 hours that we drop it. Subscribe to this channel. Turn on notifications. If you win, we'll notify you in the comment section. Also, MAPS Performance Flash Sale, half off. 50% off right now for the most balanced MAPS program that exists. This will give you everything you're looking for. This one program Check it out. Go to mapsperformance.com. Use the code athlete50 for that discount.
All right, real quick, if you love us like we love you, why not show it by rocking one of our shirts, hats, mugs, or training gear over at mypumpstore.com. I'm talking right now. Hit pause, head on over to mypumpstore.com. That's it. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Well, what you guys are saying, I think, is so important to really unpack or to elaborate on, which is like defining performance.
That's right.
Because it isn't just a PR.
Yeah.
Kind of to the concern you raised, which I think is good for us to have dialogue around, because the average person, when you think about lifting weights and you say you want to focus on performance, they do interpret that as, oh, just get stronger.
Right.
And we do sometimes simplify that and say that to people, just get stronger, focus
Especially
on that.
for the first few years.
Right. A lot of times we say that. But to your point, you're making performance is so much more than that. It's the ability to move in different planes. It's stability around it's stability around the joint. It's the ability to move your body quickly, to decelerate. It is strength. It is a little bit of endurance or stamina. So performance encompasses a whole lot more than just PRs.
Chasing, right? Yes.
And if you look at it holistically, performance that is, then it does have its natural checks and balances.
That's 100%. Yeah. If you chase one-dimensional performance and go extreme with it, then you run into problems.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, if you chase extreme endurance, you're going to have problems. I mean, they do this. They've done autopsies on extreme endurance athletes and found heart damage because of that, right? Extreme strength. I don't think I need to make the argument, right? Power lifters, like lots of joint injuries and issues and mobility issues, even sacrificing health for it. Extreme mobility. You want to become like Gumby, you're going to lose stability and you'll cause injuries there as well. But overall performance has natural checks and balances. And if you have that holistic, is a great word, focus on performance, those checks and balances handle everything. And if you continue to progress in a, and I hate to use this word because it gets bastardized, but balanced way, what follows that is the way you look.
Yeah.
Like if over the next 3 years, you embark on a fitness journey and your only goal, this is all it is. You're not even thinking about how you look. Your only goal is, I want to become way more fit. I want to have better athletic or fitness performance in a balanced way. I want to have strength. I want to have some endurance. I want to have good mobility. I want to be able to twist and move and laterally. I want to be able to do all those things. At the end of that 3-year journey, what you will see in front of you is a physical, aesthetic, visual transformation, an incredible transformation, which, by the way, here's the other side of it. Chasing performance in this way, you know what else follows along with it if you're genuinely pursuing it? Diet.
Yeah.
Nutrition starts to follow it. And fueling your body, because one of the biggest problems with people when they're chasing, or one of the biggest challenges, I should say, with chasing the look, is that people start to use their diet in inappropriate ways. Undereating is really common. More common with women, especially when they're just trying to lose weight. And oftentimes we get them on the show and we're like, you got to eat more.
Yeah.
The reason why you're not getting results or we feel like crap is you need to feed yourself. You know what showed up a long time ago for them? Drops in performance, loss of strength, loss of energy, loss of stamina. And so if you're looking at performance holistically and chasing that, the diet starts to follow. It really does start to follow.
If that's your North Star,
if that's
right?
the North Star.
Like I want to have better endurance, I want to have better strength, I want to have better movement. Like if you starve yourself or deprive yourself of nutrients for long enough,
performance is gone.
All those things go down. So if that's your main driver, is focused on that, then naturally the nutrition kind of has to come up with that.
And here's where body fat percentage even goes wrong. How many times have you seen men and women chase a body fat percentage and just destroy their hormone profile?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Or destroy their health.
I mean, that's one of the number one problems with women's bikini.
I've had,
it's like the most prevalent issue.
I've had female clients who were fit, quote unquote fitness fanatics, who couldn't conceive.
Yeah.
And
super common.
And they hired me as a trainer. I'm not a fertility expert, but I became their trainer. And you're 16% body fat. Let's put you on a reverse diet. Let's increase your calories. Oh no, am I going to gain body fat? Yeah, you probably need to. And the goal wasn't to help them conceive, by the way. This is just, I find out afterwards. This happened to me 3 times. And then the client came to me and goes, you're not going to believe this, Sal. What? My husband and I have been struggling we've been going to fertility doctors and I'm pregnant. I don't know what happened. And then I'm like, I think it's because you were too lean before. And now your body fat, and you're fed yourself. And men, I've had men like this where they're so extreme with their wanting to look shredded, low testosterone. It's like we got their body fat to go up a little bit and eat more. And of course they get stronger. And then next thing you know, testosterone goes up.
I think too, we need to do a better job culturally of really like redefining aesthetics. Like aesthetics, there's a beautiful way to move too.
Yes.
Which your body looks better when you have ability to move in a way that exemplifies like very seamless and flowing and natural movement. You notice it right away when somebody's dysfunctional but might have like an aesthetically good body,
yes.
right? And they're very rigid and they're very incapable of like certain things. Yeah. It's not attractive. And it's interesting to me that like a lot of these, and this is kind of where I guess the disconnect has always been for me with like bodybuilding and bikini pageants. It's the lack of like the display of the movement aspect of it. Like, so I know this was kind of incorporated maybe in the beginning where they actually did like movements and incorporated.
That's the first bodybuilding shows did.
Yeah. And I think they should bring that back. It's just like, it's such a disconnect, I feel, because now we just get into like squeams and we just get into like the things that will help to kind of create this illusion of what a natural body could be capable of, but you're not capable of.
You're bringing up a really, really cool, interesting point that would be a fun study to do. Like, imagine taking, 20 of the opposite sex and having them move in a way that is rigid and stiff, and they're shredded. They're the lowest body fat percentage. Then give them 3% higher, put on body fat to them, and then moving well. And would the opposite sex be more attracted to that?
Yeah.
I think so. I've openly talked about on the podcast many times how much I am like seeing a beautiful squat is such an attractive thing for me. So if you see beautiful movement, I think we are naturally kind of, like we've talked about how the eye is naturally drawn to symmetry. So that obviously plays a role. So I don't think you could take that same person and put 30% body fat on them and that you would feel the same way. But I bet there is a range, which is interesting because we get so focused on this number that we want to get down to, or we think we need to be this shredded or what that. And we've seen enough stuff where like, even women don't want the man to be as shredded as us men think we need to be. And so if you added the other element of movement in there, and I wonder how much you could get away with increased body fat if you actually just moved better to attract the opposite sex.
The reason why we universally consider some things attractive, and they've done studies on this, okay? So depending on the region of the world, body fat is higher or lower, but there are general truths in terms of what humans consider attractive. There's a shoulder to waist ratio in men. There's a hip to waist ratio in women. There's muscle. There's development that is considered attractive regardless of where you come from in the world. Why? Because it displays health and function, okay? But what we've done is we've taken the side effect and made that the main effect.
Yeah.
So we've taken the side effect of good health, and it's like, oh, I like it when when a man has nice developed shoulders and doesn't have a big belly and has well developed lower body, which is a sign of I can function, I can move, I can protect you, I can provide, I probably have good testosterone, blah 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 blah. And we're like, let's just focus on that. Let's just look at the look. And the same thing with women. And then what's happened, because it's just the look, and this is what happens when you focus on the side effect and not the main effect, we start to distort the hell out of it.
Yeah.
We start to distort it and force it, and media really pushes this even more as we share pictures and whatever, and things go viral. And then we move away from what is actually considered healthy. In fact, the extremes, although on media may be sold to us as attractive, in the real world, extremes are not. Everybody knows this. Like, a super shredded, super jacked dude that's above and beyond what you could accomplish naturally, we may celebrate in social media, but for the average woman, it's too far, right? Same thing for the other direction.
Yeah.
But my whole point with this is, if you're on a fitness journey and you want to look healthy and fit, just get healthy and fit. and you'll look healthy and fit.
Yep, it'll happen.
It will. And you brought up symmetry. Symmetry is a great, like symmetry and balance show health. So balance is your upper body and lower body, they match, right? You know, you're not have like this big muscular upper body with these tiny skinny little legs or vice versa. That's balance. Symmetry is right to left, right? Your right side matches your left side. And we score this highly in bodybuilding and all that stuff. You know what develops balance and symmetry? Moving in different planes of movement.
Yeah.
Having overall good fitness, overall meaning the whole body.
Yeah. A lot more variety of movement.
If you have overall good performance and you can move in different planes of motion and you can rotate, you're going to be balanced and symmetrical. And the irony of this, again, is that we chase the thing that often doesn't even lead to the thing that we're chasing. And we sacrifice all this stuff if you just went after these, and they're objective. What's great about performance is it's objective, it's not subjective. So I can see on the bar I've added weight. I can see that I'm doing more reps. I can see that my stamina has improved. I can see that I have better mobility. My God, I couldn't squat fully before. Now I can squat fully without pain. I couldn't do a lateral squat. I couldn't do a windmill. Now I can. Like, it's very objective. Then it results in the subjective things that we're looking for.
Well, where are we at, Justin? 23, 25 programs we've written, something like that?
Yeah.
25, yeah.
25? There's only one that we tell people they can run indefinitely.
Forever.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again.
There's only the MAPS Performance literally encompasses everything that we're talking about right now. And it's for that reason. Like, so no matter the goal, we tell people like it's the one program that kind of will take care of.
There's no weaknesses in it because it has the holistic performance baked into the programming. Yeah. So strength, stamina, mobility, multiplanar movements, which include things like rotation and lateral movement. I mean, it's all in
Unilateral stuff. Endurance inside there. It's got everything.
Power. You even have power in there.
Mobility days. I mean, it's literally, it really is.
It covers the bases.
Every other one of our programs, great for
it's narrow in scope.
Exactly. It's really amazing. But then I can tell you like, okay, well, if you've been running that for say a year, you're probably going to want to move to this one because you're lacking X, Y, and Z. Like there's a way to pick apart every other single one for that reason. But performance has always been, which is ironic because you would think that would be the most popular program that we've ever sold. And it is one of the popular ones, but it's not the most popular when it technically should be.
No, because people are unfamiliar with a lot of the movements in it. And there's always a reserve, I think, with that because it's challenging. You get in the comfort of like the expectation is like, I'm going to have this type of an experience as I work out. And then I'm really just focused on, it's like, you don't want to learn too many things. Like you just want to kind of stick with what's going to build the muscle and give you the look.
Well, I was going to say, I think Sal's whole point of this is why that people don't, is that I think most people decide when they turn on the podcast for the first time and go, I'm going to listen to good fitness content, or I'm going to go to the gym. I want to look better is the first thing. And to the average person, MAPS Performance says, performance. I just want to look good.
Yeah, that's right. It's the perception.
But what you're saying right now is just that pursuit will give you that thing. And I think that if more people understood that, had a holistic approach to performance, they would get that byproduct that they absolutely want.
Which single, and you already answered this, but I'll ask it differently, right? Which single program could we take a group of people on, have them run it for 4 years, and result in the best look? Performance. Which single program could somebody run and would nudge them in the right direction with diet more than any other program? Performance. So it's interesting. And again, I gotta stress this. If your performance goal is super narrow in scope, this can definitely go haywire. Mm-hmm. But when you're looking at performance holistically, checks and balances and symmetry and balance and aches and pains and injury, it's like all taken care of just because you're doing, because you're moving in that direction, which is cool. It's a good discussion to have because as a trainer, when you train clients, if you want to do a good job, you stop focusing. You take their body fat percentage and aesthetics and you place it down the list. Mm-hmm. And at the top of the list is, I'm going to see if I'm going to get this person to improve their fitness and health. because you always know what's going to happen. And by the way, it takes a while to figure this out as a trainer, because when you're a trainer early on, someone says, I want to lose 30 pounds. You're like, we're going to lose 30 pounds. That's what I'm going to focus on. But then later on, you're like, that'll happen. We're going to get you stronger, endurance. We're going to get you moving better.
Even when I had clients that were like very aesthetic driven and focused, and even to the point where they're going to then take that and then go to a point where they could get on stage. It's like, I'm sprinkling in like rotation. I'm sprinkling in like multiplanar type exercises because, I want them to keep pursuing their goal long-term, and you can't just, you're going to hit a wall and it's going to be pain and it's going to be some kind of dysfunction you're going to have to contend with. So, whether you like it or not, like it's coming for you.
Totally. All right. I want to do a little, not announcement, but like what do they call them? Public service announcements. I think it's important to talk about.
We used to get these after Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah. I think right now is important to talk about. And that's that our brains, our minds, however you believe, were not designed or didn't evolve to handle constant news cycles.
Oh my God, yeah.
You guys,
too much.
I don't care who you are, but you get caught in the constant news cycle, it will decrease your quality of life and make you more anxious.
Yeah.
It will make you more angry. It is not healthy for you. And I know the argument's like, I need to know what's happening. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't need to know what's happening all the time. It got crazy. The first time I remember this really being a thing, you guys want to know? And by the way, they tracked this, like when this started becoming a thing, where we started to see like these like disorders resulting from just constant exposure to news. It was after the first Gulf War. So when CNN was like the first 24-hour news network, the war is on, suddenly people are tuning in all day long, every single day.
Right.
And that led to all these other news networks that were 24/7. And now we have social media. Now you can throw in.
Now you have people's opinions about the things that happen, which, that was a whole nother mess. Like I remember the news was like at like 8 o'clock or something, or like 5 or 8 o'clock. You had like two options through the day, or even just one day a week. And then it just, started to really accelerate from there.
Our minds are not, they're not like prepared or able to comprehend what's happening everywhere all the time. It's just too much. It's too much. It's too scary. It puts us in this really bad state. I had a friend of mine call me the other day because obviously right now we're stuck in this, like this big, the last time it was like this, although it was for a prolonged period of time, was during COVID. It was like, oh my God, this got everybody.
Yeah.
But this person called me and was like, what's happening? I'm freaking out. I can't believe that this is happening, that they're doing this and that. And I'm like, listen, turn everything off for 3 days. Yep. And just focus on what's in front of you.
Get in nature. Yeah.
Like your friends, your family, your neighborhood. Has anything changed in those places? And they're like, no. Like, just do that for 3 days. 3 days later, I checked in. They're like, oh my God, what a difference. I did not know I was so like caught in that cycle.
I wonder what type of person is more susceptible to something like that. Like, I mean, I'm always trying to be like, Katrina is like the complete opposite. Like, in fact, I was watching.
She does a good job of just.
I don't even know if it's a good job. I'm like, I have to like watch some stuff just so she understands what's going on. In fact, she was saying something to me. She's like, "What are you into right now?" I just have to watch this right now. There's a lot of stuff going on. I want to get somewhat understanding of what's happening. So I'm just my head's not completely in the sand. She's like, "Why do you even watch that? Why do you?" And it's like, well, I trust me, honey. I don't want to just be completely. Ignore everything in the world that's going on. So I want to know a little bit so I can inform you, because you definitely don't know anything about what's going on. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm fascinated, and I think I'm very little. Like, I do not go down that rabbit hole of stuff really. And you guys send me stuff a lot, and I'm like, I just can't watch it. It puts me in a bad mood. It's like pulling a thread. You pull one thread and then it leads you down another deeper rabbit hole. And it's like,
and now speculation, like so many people speculate, and there's just so much. And
and
the more outrageous it is, the more viral.
That's right. And it's none of it is positive or good. It's all negative and unhealthy. And so it's really tough. And I'm speaking from somebody who I think doesn't really do it. I know how tough it is for me. Like, if I just give a little bit of a hold of it, I can see where it's just like, okay, well, hold on, I have to finish this. I need
Our
to hear
brains
this.
are so wired for negative, scary stuff. It's not even funny. Like if you go on a Yelp review of a restaurant and you see 70 4 and 5 star reviews and then 1 1-star review and it has this like terrible story.
Read that.
That weighs a lot.
Oh, you only read those? I
Yes.
actually, when I go
Isn't
to
that funny?
when I go to look for a review on something, I don't read any of the positive ones. I read the 5 worst, and then I make peace with what they say. In other words, if I'm looking to buy, what did we just buy recently? We just bought something different for the first time, and we were reading the reviews, and it's like, well, read the 5 bad ones out loud to me. And so if I hear them, I'm like, oh, that's not that bad, or oh, that's okay, or I go, oh, that's a problem. Is there more that say that?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like that's all you read. I don't take the time to read all the positive ones. You read the handful of negative ones, which is crazy to think that we are wired to do that.
That's your filter.
Yeah.
We're so wired. I've talked about this many episodes. I made a conscious effort every other hour to think about the blessings of just the previous couple hours, because I was doing it just at the end of the day, and I was realizing that I was getting repetitive. And when I started doing it every other hour, I'm like, oh my God, there's all these things that I missed that are wonderful blessings, like the conversation I had with so-and-so and the guy that said hi to me, on the road, and I went and had a Justin told a funny joke, and you just forget about it because our brains are so wired to hyper focus and concentrate on scary stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's like we got to unplug. Do you guys remember? I remember this. This actually happened, and it's funny too because I think it's so traumatic that when you bring it up sometimes to people, they'll be like, "Oh, I forgot about that." Do you guys remember during COVID, news channels had a running death total on the bottom?
Oh my God!
Do you guys remember that? It would actually have
it's literally just like blocked that
you
out
forgot,
of my head. Yeah,
like a ticker.
Yeah.
Like I'm turning on the news, which we're in our houses. We got nothing else to do. It's even more alluring to scare the crap out of ourselves.
Yeah, right.
And on the bottom is a running ticker of death,
Which is so crazy.
Which is so wild.
It's wild because that's happening right now. Right?
Yeah.
Like what is the so how many people are dying by the second? There's always people dying.
Yeah.
So it's like you take something that has always happened for as long as we've been around, that's at a high rate when you think of it as a whole population. Yep. And so you focus it on one thing like this, and then it just exacerbates it. Like, oh my God, this is so crazy.
My favorite, one of my favorites is I remember having this conversation. It was like 10 years ago. I don't remember who I was talking to, but they're like, "You got to be careful because kidnappers and this and that." And I'm like, I feel like it's worse. Is it worse? Are kids getting more like abducted? Like what's going on? We looked up the stats. I'm like, oh my God, it's all-time lows.
better. Yeah.
It's all-time lows. I thought it was
just
worse.
See it now though, like constantly.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah, dude. It's just we're not wired for it. So because some people are like, well, I can watch it and I'm okay. You're not wired for it, dude. You're fighting your biology. Like you need to unplug completely. I think once a week at least you need to not go on any of that stuff.
I mean, I saw this firsthand because my wife used to work in pediatrics, and it was like, these kids that come to are hurt and are really, really sick.
Yeah.
And it's like, so her perspective and her lens is like, well, they didn't wear a helmet. And so like this happened. And so it's like, just our kids learning how to ride a bike. She's just like, and I'm like, it's going to be all right. Like that's, it's just because she was so inundated with like all the worst case scenarios constantly. And so it was like how her brain was like perceiving
100%. I remember in my mid-20s, I dated an ER nurse. And I remember at one point, this is before social media was so out of control. This is early on, right? And so we weren't all being inundated or plugged to our phones the way we are today. And I remember like having to tell her, like, I don't want to hear any more stories. like literally every night was a crazy story. Like she had multiple. It wasn't like, you're an ER nurse at late night.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Overnight. Like you're getting all the drunk, crazy meth heads, everybody that's
gunshot wounds.
Everything's bad. There's no like positive story. It's always nuts. And so like you hear that all the time, like, oh my God, I don't know. It just puts me in a awful mood hearing that all the time. And so we've now all put, ER nurse filters on every day. And so we think that everything is so tragic, so bad, happening all the time, so evil, all stuff. It's like there has been evil and death and murder and all those things since the beginning of time. And arguably a fraction of what it is today. But you get to see 1,000 times more than what you saw just 20, 30 years ago. So it's like, you think it's happening way, way more.
Yeah,
than
my I don't remember who was it. One of my family members is like, "Oh, if something really bad happens, you'll find out. You don't need to go looking for it. You'll find out.
Right?
Like, don't worry about it." I think a good way to do this would be to schedule it for yourself and be like, "Okay, this day, this time, I'll go and check and see what's going on, and then I'm gonna turn it."
Well,
off.
the other thing is this too, Sal. I mean, we've talked about this before. And so what I've actually done in the last couple of weeks, ever since all this happened, is I have a handful of Instagram pages between my sons, the business page, my personal page, and then I have my car page. I go to my car page because I literally don't follow anybody on there, and it's only cars.
Algorithm isn't killing you. Huh?
So literally, like I've been just looking at cars. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so you can start to, and I even started doing more of that on my personal page, so I could start to get fed that, because on my personal page, I follow thousands of people, and a lot of those are talking heads, and so when the whole Charlie Kirk thing happened, like my whole feed on that was nothing but that. And I'm like, oh, I gotta get off of this. And just switching to the other Instagram, same platform, nothing. I got none of that news. So it's like you control a lot of what's being fed to you by the things that you like and that you watch. And so one of the ways that you can do that is to really start to curate that better.
There's some interesting studies on how, like, on people's happiness in connection to their own wealth or their possessions. And there's a stronger correlate to how well you're doing in relation to other people versus how well you're doing. In other words, if you're doing so well, but you see that everybody else is doing a lot better than you, ooh, happiness goes down.
Oh, sure.
And it doesn't matter how well or how bad you're doing, that has a stronger correlate to how you feel about yourself than how you're actually doing.
Yeah.
And this is true for fitness. The impact that social media has on girls, for example, and body image is profound. It's absolutely, because you go on there and it's the algorithm is narrating to you a story that's actually not true. You would think, if you're into fitness, because then you'll get fitness stuff, right, in your algorithm. If that's what you're looking at for 4 hours or 5 hours of the day, your brain is perceiving that you're around those kind of people that much every single day. And I got news to tell everybody. I manage gyms for a living.
They don't look like that.
No. And that's a self-selection bias of people that work out.
Yeah.
You don't see ripped people. A ripped person in the gym is rare, let alone in public. So it's like
it's wild how that that whole perception drift works too, and how that it's like it happens over time. It's not like an overnight thing. Like the first time you looked at it, I had a moment like that. I was recently even down on myself of like, man, I've just been so inconsistent and this and that, and like about my working out and my training. Was touring this house the other day and walk in and meet this realtor. First words out of his mouth was like, man, you don't look like you've missed a day of working out. And I'm like, so ironic you just said that to me. Because I know. It's like, I don't know if that's good, right? Because then it's just like, oh, I'm good.
You're working.
But it's interesting how much your perception drifts, because I am around that all the time. And I have fit friends that I'm talking, and we talk fitness all day and we're looking at bodies. Yeah. And so even myself, even with my level of awareness of running gyms like you guys have, and I know that. I used to do that to people. I used to stand them up and be like, find me 5 bodies that you even want to look like in here. Like they're not there. There's very few people are walking around single digit body fat, but you look at it enough, you talk to enough people like that, you get in your own little bubble, and then even my perception drifts.
It's so crazy that, and you'll see this often in female clients. They'll have all these signs that their health is declining because they want to get leaner. Like they start to lose their period, they start to have these hormone issues, hair, skin, nails starting to show that there may be a nutrient deficiency, but they're like, I want to be in the teens, body fat percentage. And then, as a trainer, you start to point this out, and then you can see the light bulb turn on and go, oh, wait a minute, maybe this is not doing me any good.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah. Doug, I want to hear, you brought up earlier some crazy investment news or research.
Oh, I was just going to bring that up. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, no, I just came across, Doug, pull it up. There's an article on 8 Sleep.
I saw it up there earlier. So
one of our partners just took on $100 million.
Oh, wow.
And really, I think it sounds like it's going to get prescribed for like sleep apnea and stuff like that. Is that correct? Would you correct me if I'm wrong?
So yeah, they're looking for FDA clearance for medical use of the 8 sleep for sleep apnea, menopause, etc.
Menopause.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bro, I'm thinking about this. I mean, every client that I've ever had that was menopausal, one of the things they complain about the most is the temperature at night, how much
And just poor sleep, period.
how much it fluctuates and throws them off. They can't be it's either too hot, it's too cold, you can't and the fact that this thing adjusts
On the fly.
to your body temperature is rad.
Makes sense.
What it does, so it says for AI medical tech. So 8 Sleep has this really interesting AI in there that monitors your sleep while you're sleeping and then adjusts itself on the fly to improve your sleep. So if your sleep starts to go, you start to move out of those, those phases of sleep, he's coming out of it. Let's adjust to bring him back down. And then it learns what works for you.
Yeah.
Which is wild. So of course they got a huge that's like groundbreaking.
I'm pretty sure I've personally, just talking to people on the street, like sold hundreds of these by myself because I think they're so. I mean, anybody who has ever got uncomfortable, and maybe this is my experience, but temperature at night matters so much to me. It makes such a difference. It's the reason why we tease me about it when we go right to a Airbnb or a hotel. I've trained myself that the first thing I do is go straight to that thermometer, drop it as low as I can, because I know if I don't, if I even wait till it's bedtime to go do that, the time that it takes to cool that house off is going to disrupt the first 2 to 3 hours of my sleep. That's how much of a difference like temperature matters for me. Like
that's
having
what the data shows.
It's
very clearly
wild.
And because your body temperature changes as you sleep, it makes sense for something to adjust. I mean, how many times have you felt cold and then I'm hot and I'm cold, and it's your body temperature?
I also and I know this stuff like the whole thunder vest thing of like to help dogs calm down and do things like that. I know that I've never been able to, because I know some people are like, just sleep with a sheet or no sheets. Like I can't sleep without weight. I have to have weight. I don't know, attached to my trauma or some bullshit. Whatever. Tease me that I need a thunder vest to sleep or whatever like that. But I need weight. And so I love that.
Is this why when you share a room with Justin, you have him just lay on
top of
the
sleep? Yeah. But that I can, in the middle of summer, we're in summer right now, we have a 90-something degree day today, and I think yesterday was 90-something, and I've got my sheet, my middle blanket, and my comforter on top of me.
Yeah.
But it cools underneath so well.
It's because the monsters can't get you, bro. Dude. When the sheet's on you, the blanket's on you.
That's my problem.
Yeah. When I was younger,
I'm mad that I wasn't an early investor in that. I feel like that's like.
Do you know, for the longest time, it's not like this anymore, but up until it like well into my adulthood, I had to have socks on. I couldn't have my feet uncovered.
While you sleep?
I couldn't have my feet uncovered.
Ew, no.
And I don't know what it was. Maybe a security thing or something.
I can't have it tucked in,
did you keep socks on when you had sex?
Me out.
Huh? No, unless you want to be fast and the kids are out, and then you just take off what's necessary.
So you sleep with your socks on, but they take them off for sex.
Yeah, well, no, I don't sleep with my socks on anymore. But for the longest time,
you did.
Them on for sex.
I haven't.
Let's be honest.
You get the grippy socks so you can put so that you don't slide. That's talk about a brilliant invention. My kids, because we don't wear shoes in the house, the grippy socks that little kids wear, those are brilliant, dude. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. You ever see kids bail because their socks are so slippery? They fall in the house. Anyway, I got a cool study for you guys. Another awesome thing about walking. This is a big study. This study involved 11,000 people. And here's what it found. People who walk more than 100 minutes every day have a 23% lower chance of lower back pain. That's it. That's it. 100 minutes a week, which is not, what is that per day? That's not much at all, right?
100 minutes?
Less than 10 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Less than 10. 8 minutes a day.
To drop the odds of back.
Right?
No, there's 7 days in a week, so it'd be like
10 would be, you said how long?
100 minutes.
Oh, okay, so a little more than 10 minutes.
13,
so
14
15-minute walk. 15-minute walk
A day
day.
would lower your odds of back pain by a fourth. That's not even much, bro. That's nothing.
So let's talk about all the things why that has to do. 100% the hip movement, right? Getting the hips to move has to be a big factor.
I think it's
circulation.
Yep. I think it's more like sitting all day hurts your back. That's what I think.
Well,
if you just get up for a bit.
That's what I mean. I think sitting in a seated, contracted position for the hips.
Yeah. You need that extension too.
Yeah,
upright.
And so
extension.
just standing up gets that full extension like that, mobilizes the hips, increases circulation, and even as whenever you do these studies, though, I can't help but go like,
duh.
Well, not just duh, but 80 years ago, this study doesn't work.
No.
It only works because how terrible we are.
so sedentary.
Yes,
sedentary.
like that's this study. I guarantee you did a study, and it would be a moot point. Like we did a study on 10,000 people who walked 12 minutes a day. Yeah. We didn't notice anything because everybody moved. Yeah. Everybody moved that much, but we do. Everybody so many people don't move that we've gotten to a point where it's like, hey, just try and move for 12 minutes a day, and it'll impact your life.
I mean, it's both kind of crazy news, but good news, right? You don't need to do much.
Oh, I mean, it's good to. It's good news for the person who is trying to get started, moving in the right direction, and knowing
you don't need much to make a big difference.
Exactly, but that doing as little as that, if it's outside of what you were doing, is a really good thing already, and you're already moving in the right direction. So for that point, yes, but it's also very sad.
The other thing that's understated with walking is its positive impact on digestion. First off, it dramatically lowers blood sugar just to walk after you eat, improves insulin sensitivity. We've hammered that to death on this podcast. But also, if you look at the digestive system, first of all, gravity is part of the digestive system. One of the issues that astronauts have when they're on the space station is their digestion goes haywire because they don't have gravity.
They get constipated.
Constipation, and lots of digestive issues, right? Because
there's no movement, there's no pressure.
There's no gravity pushing down. Also, if you look at the digestive system and the muscles that surround and move through it, walking actually allows or helps with the digestive process. So eating while sitting and staying or laying down, not good.
Well, a lot of the stabilizing muscles too put that compressive force on your intestines and stomach.
That's right, 100%. All right, we were talking about health earlier and how getting healthier, improving performance will give you what you want in terms of aesthetics. I think this is true for a lot of different things. One of our partners, Caldera Lab, and their skin care products. Their skincare products now in their studies,
great connection there,
right? In the studies have shown over 90% of participants notice all these, reduce in fine lines and wrinkles, healthier skin, looks younger, all that stuff. But really, if you look at Caldera Lab and you look at the focus of their products, it's about improving skin health. Mm-hmm. It's not about making you look better. It's like through improved skin health. Again,
it's not like hiding anything.
No, and like their serum, it has natural botanicals that encourage a healthy microbiome on the face, which you have to have if you don't want blemishes.
Do you think there's a clear divide in our society of like people that are, alternative route or a holistic route like that like this is how I'm going to keep beauty, this is how I'm going to look young, this is how I'm going to avoid wrinkles, and then there's the other half that are like Botox, face surgery, do whatever it takes to do that? You think it's a pretty clear divide?
Yeah, I think most people know that good health leads to how you look, but we're so focused on the visual signs of health that's what we end up focusing on.
I would love to see a comparison of those to see if one's growing and one's shrinking, and at what if that's true, because I feel like
here, I'll give you a good example, bro. What? This is one of my favorite examples that people get pissed off when I bring it up, but whatever. Look at the shoes that people wear, especially women wear, and how bad they are for health. Mm-hmm. Look at how bad. It's so crazy. I'll go somewhere with my wife and she'll put some shoes on. They look nice. I like the way they look too. They look great. And halfway through the night, she's like, I gotta get out of the. I'm like, why are you wearing those shoes?
They're like this.
Yeah, they squeeze them
elevated and smashed together.
Yeah, dude. And then she'll talk to me.
One toe's like, and she's popping out.
And she'll make jokes like, you wouldn't last 5 minutes in these. And I'm like, I probably wouldn't. She's like, women have been trained to just deal with it since we were, teenagers, to just deal with this terrible whatever pain in my foot, my back, or whatever.
So make that connection to the face thing, or
it's because it's about it's an extreme example of like looking a particular way and you sacrifice.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, because I mean, obviously, the '90s kicked off the popularity of things like plastic surgery and Botox and things like that. And so I'm sure. Was
Botox in the '90s? It was, right?
I know plastic surgery was.
Oh yeah, that's been around since the 70s.
Right. So I mean, I really feel like the 90s. I mean, I even remember in the early 2000s there was movies and shows that were starting to come about. There was I really feel like that was like, and then Botox became a thing where you are having, and they still have these groups that, like candle parties that are Botox parties, right? Instead.
What do they do?
Like candle parties were always popular.
Oh.
Like they do
you
like
show up and they
do like Botox
There's
parties.
a nurse there that hooks you up.
Yeah. You didn't know that was a thing?
I think I did.
That's a really popular thing.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, so I know that that's continued to grow. So what I'd be interested to see is like,
popular.
Are we simultaneously growing this, counterculture or opposite that are people are going like, you know what? I want to look young too, and I don't want wrinkles, but I'm going to go this holistic approach. So I'm trying to do essential oil stuff. I'm trying to do like the red light therapy. I'm trying to do.
I don't know because I know my wife got really like into this once she started to look into a lot of the beauty products with the chemicals that they've added, and also too just like stuff they've found that they've had to recall so much, and it's like. Being all ingrained in the garden and all this, it's like there's a lot of like natural herbs and there's natural things that we just discard because it's like, oh, that sounds like crunchy hippie stuff. But she started to put all these like oils and things in her hair, and it's like, because she was getting like hair was like falling out. From some of these products and things. And it's like, you realize that's what's causing it. That's crazy. It's like, and they're promoting it and it's completely different how they're promoting it. Yeah. But then like now too, it's getting fuller and like her hair looks different. So it's like, it's interesting. And once people kind of really understand like, well, maybe it's not really what they're promoting. It's not, those chemicals aren't like benefiting you like they should.
There's a lot of things like that in the world where we chase this one thing because we think that that's what's going to produce what we're looking for. In fact, we're moving away from it. One of my other favorite studies, I just talked about this. Who's I talking to? My cousins. Because I have a bunch of cousins and my brother, and we're all in this like group thread, and everybody's really successful in there. Like one of my cousins has a startup company. I am betting money the guy's gonna be a billionaire one day with his company. A bunch of investment bankers. Everybody does really well, and they're all very driven. But the conversations go to like, oh, I'm gonna buy this car, I'm gonna do this thing or whatever. And so I'm in there with them, and I'm like, I said, what are you guys after when you're doing these things? And so then they're like, well, I like it, this and that. But it all boils down to like happiness. Like I'm doing this thing because it makes me happy, or I'm buying this thing that makes me happy. And so I'm like, do you guys want to know what the data shows on if you're looking for happiness with money, what's going to give you the most ROI? And nobody was familiar with it, and I wasn't either until I saw that study where it shows if you buy something that makes you quote unquote happy, your happiness does spike, but then it drops pretty quickly. Yeah. And if you buy that same thing again, you're no longer going to get that effect. In other words, you're like, I really want that, whatever. I really want that car. And you get that car and you're happy. You're not going to buy the same car again exactly because the effect's gone. It's not going to give it to you. Right. So that's like the bottom. Then it goes to experiences, especially things that help you grow as a person. That gives you a longer happiness curve. So I'm going to go learn something or maybe go on this trip and, change my outlook on things. But at the top of it, when you look at the studies, if you use it has to be voluntary. If you use your money to help someone else, like a person or a charity that you really believe in, you voluntarily do it, not only does your happiness go up, it stays up, and then for the rest of your life, for as long as they've studied this.
Every time you think about it, it taps into that again.
It goes back up.
Yeah. It's a happy memory.
You're just as happy as you were the first time you did it.
Yeah.
So if your ultimate goal with your money is to be more happy from having it, because there's a lot of things you do with money, security and all that stuff. But if you're like, okay, I got this extra money, I want to get happier, the data shows helping other people with it will give you the most ROI, which nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Well, I mean, I think, I don't know, there's a lot of, of these centimillionaires and stuff like that end up doing a lot of philanthropy as they get, later in their life. I think whether they knew that going into it or they realized it after they bought everything and they're no longer happy. I mean, it probably happens like that, to be honest. You probably were massively driven to have, and then you got. And then you got it all, and you got it all multiple times. And you're like, shit, that's not even fun to buy that anymore. And you're like, maybe I'll try giving it and see what happens. And you go, oh, whoa, that actually felt really good.
Yeah.
And every time I think about it, it still feels good. Like, I'm sure that's a hack they figure out eventually.
I know, but it's cool. I wish people more
to give, serve, and teach. Is the secret for sure.
It's so funny. Yeah. It's so funny. But we chase the stuff that doesn't provide that. Yeah. So it's just You're not what you eat, you're what you digest. Did you know as you get older, you produce less digestive enzymes, resulting in worse assimilation? digestive issues. Well, check this out. You got to go see this product called Masszymes. These are digestive enzymes for people who like to be fit. Take them when you eat, get better digestion, better recovery, better assimilation. Go to masszymes.com. That's MASSZYMES.com/mind pump. Use the code MindPump10, get 10% off. Back to the show. This segment of the podcast is brought to you by Mind Pump Fitness Coaching. This is the #1 course that teaches trainers and coaches how to build sustainable 6-figure plus businesses and careers in fitness. Look, it's roundtable based, so you can hear Adam, Justin, and myself teaching you how to build a better business, get more leads, close more deals, close bigger deals, and be more effective trainers. By the way, our course is nationally recognized. In fact, it gives you 1.9 CEUs with or for your NASM certification. Find out more at mindpumpfitnesscoaching.com.
Our first caller is Bill from Texas.
Bill.
Hey, Bill.
How you doing?
How you doing, guys?
How's it going? How's it going, Bill?
I've listened to you so many times. I truly think I know you, each one of you.
All right.
Hell yeah.
How can we help you, sir?
Well, I've got a unique situation, but not really that unique. Over the last few years, about 15 years ago, I was diagnosed with a chronic disease and told I'd live about 2 years. That disease is called pulmonary fibrosis. Your lungs become hard and stiff and eventually don't transfer oxygen. So I still have it. It affects how I exercise because if I do a routine, I have to gather my breath again. It takes about 30 seconds, give or take, and I'm on oxygen when I do that. So I'm taking oxygen, but it still takes time to recover. That's a problem I don't know how to address. And then in addition to that, I've got 3 things going on. I've got sarcopenia, which is when you get older, many people lose muscle mass, and I've lost that. So my strength on my left side is probably 80% of what it was, but on my right, complicated by the stroke, it's about 20%. So I've got to work out some way to balance that. It's a problem. My voice bothers me, and it's not going to change. So that's life. But I also have 4 strokes, and I've also got IPF, or idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. But I'm feeling good. As I sit here and look at you guys, I feel as good as anybody I'm looking at or might be looking at me.
That's great. Okay, so you want some advice on how to approach exercise considering all the things that you've just told us, correct?
I do, and my routine has to be a little different. I was a triathlete, a senior triathlete. I had to stop when I got diagnosed. So I'm conversant with good exercise as well as swimming and running, which I did. As a triathlete, you guys probably know that triathletes make a life study of diet and exercise to win events. I did okay, but now I have to get people like you, experts, to help guide me in the right direction.
Okay, so Bill, well, first off, I love that you listen to the show, and I appreciate the kind words.
Bill.
So impressed, dude.
So we can address the sarcopenia through strength training, but the approach is going to be different. And also considering the difference in strength between your right and left. And so what it would look like, and I have some experience, I have minimal, but I do have some experience working with people who've had pulmonary fibrosis. And the way that the workout looked for us was we would do 1 rep, we'd put the weight down, we'd wait 20 or 30 seconds, and then we would do another rep. So it was not a complete, the set didn't look like 1, 2, 3. It was like
not consecutive.
1, put it down, we'd wait till we caught our breath, then we'd do it again. And so the set would get extended. It'd be a long set.
What I'm doing now, the work that I work out 5 days a week. 1 day is lower, 1 day is upper. I run every day, 5 days a week, I work out with both the kettlebells and dumbbells, either upper or lower, Monday through Thursday. Friday's my wife's day. I call it Patty Day, and we do something. So I want to work on my schedule I have of a Sunday through Thursday and alternating days, up or lower. I'm right down doing between 12 and 20 reps, 2 to 3 sets.
That's a great approach. But how long have you been married, by the way?
62 years.
Oh, that's phenomenal. That's amazing.
Champion.
Yeah. So what you would do, Bill, is you would pick maybe a couple, 3, maybe 4 exercises for each of those days. You would pick a weight that felt, like you could, like would challenge you a little bit, and you would do one arm or one-legged type exercises. So because of the discrepancy between right and left, a lot of the stuff that you should be doing is unilateral, meaning instead of lifting with both arms, I'm doing one arm at a time. And if the set calls for, let's say, 8 repetitions, what I may do is grab a little bit of a heavier weight, but I'm going to do 1 rep, place the weight down. I'm going to wait until I catch my breath and then do it again. Because if you go and start to lose oxygen, which will happen quickly with pulmonary fibrosis, now you're working on stamina, which is okay if that's what you want from the strength training. But I think what you want from the strength training is the muscle building, the reversal of sarcopenia. Plus you also run, which is giving you the endurance aspect. So the set's going to look very different, Bill. It's going to be 1 rep, you put it down, you wait, catch your breath, and then do it again. And so a set of 8 reps is going to be a lot longer than a traditional set because you're resting for a good 20, 30 seconds in between every rep.
I love that.
Does that make sense?
Each exercise. And so I probably want a heavier weight than I'm doing for my 20 reps.
If you can, try to push yourself.
Correct.
With that.
So to give you an example, if I were, and I'm using arbitrary numbers because I don't know what you train with, but let's say I use a 20-pound dumbbell and I'm doing a shoulder press for 8 reps. And let's say the 8th rep feels pretty challenging. What I would do is I would maybe go up to 25. But I would lift the weight, put it down, and I'd wait, literally with the weight down. So not holding it, but placing it down and then waiting about 20 or 30 seconds and then doing another rep. And you continue that set until you hit the target number of reps. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I do the same thing on legs, doing squats and lunges.
Correct.
So I can't do the squats with one leg. I'll try to find some other exercise like a squat where I do one leg.
A lunge or a step up would be great.
What kind of gym do you go to? Like, can you describe some of the equipment and all that?
It's my back bedroom.
Oh, okay. Oh, right on.
There's nothing wrong with squats, Bill. I like squats, and here's why. I like the unilateral work, so I think most of the work should be unilateral. But because we are walking and running, and both legs need to work together, even though there's a strength discrepancy, it's still okay to do bilateral work with the lower body for some of your exercises. So don't get rid of squats. Yeah. But the rest of the exercises, I would like kind of like the split stance stuff, like a lunge or a step up where you get a low step and you step up and come down. You could hold dumbbells with that if you need more weight, since you're going to be resting, 20, 30 seconds in between each rep. So you come up, hold yourself, come back down, put the dumbbells down, catch your breath, and then do it again.
Well, what I'm doing today is I do 4 workouts a day. In the morning, making coffee, I'll stretch my back. I have lumbar stenosis, which most people my age have. So I do back exercises, have a cup of coffee with Patty, and after we're done with coffee, we both come out and do Qigong, which is kind of like Tai Chi.
Yeah, I know what that is.
More based on martial arts.
Cool.
So I spent a lot of time in Kung Fu and Karate. So after I've done that, then during the day, I'll do my workout and I'll do my walk, run. I got a treadmill for that. I've got right now 2 dumbbells. But what I heard you saying, I should buy a 3rd and a 4th.
That's right. Yeah, you probably want to go a little heavier and just be conservative because you're now going to be going, resting 20 to 30 seconds in between each rep. And
as far as diet, what's your recommendations?
Okay, so before I give you some recommendations, are there anything I need to know about that would be contraindicated? Like, are you on any special dietary restrictions from a doctor or anything like that?
I've lost, I hate to say this publicly, I've kind of lost faith in the medical community. The three things I have, they can't be cured or fixed. You live with them. Stroke, PF, and sarcopenia. I wish there was a cure out there. So I run and exercise for my sarcopenia. I think I'm holding at bay. I can't do breathing exercises because I can't control that. But I've been lucky. I've been blessed because I haven't had significant changes in my lungs, even though it's been 15 years. The stroke is my big problem. You lose balance, you lose coordination, and I have muscle disparity differences in my strength. So what you're saying is wise. It's wisdom and good wisdom. I don't think exercise-wise, I'll do exactly what you say.
Okay, great. With diet,
Protein.
the data shows that a high protein diet is even more beneficial as we get older. So
Yeah, I strive for that 1 gram per pound of body weight.
Oh, great. That's excellent.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I hit that.
That's excellent. Make sure your diet's also got a decent amount of fiber, well-cooked vegetables. Berries are great with that. Yep. I think if you're already doing that, you're doing great.
Well, I tried keto and I've been on paleo, so I'm maintaining that, a little more conservative perhaps, but it's doable.
Okay. Did you go keto for any blood sugar reasons, or was it just because you wanted to lose weight?
I thought it'd be a faster way to gain muscle mass.
Oh, no.
Harder,
Eat some
harder.
carbohydrates.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet potato, rice, some easily digestible starches will actually help you build muscle and strength, and will give you some strength through your workouts.
Yeah.
Well, this has been incredibly invaluable. I never thought about to do one rest, do another and rest. That's a great strategy.
Yep.
I'll start to do that today as a test, and I get some heavier weights to challenge myself a little bit more.
Bill, would you mind if we had you back on in like 60 days?
I'd love to check up on you, man.
Yeah, I'd love to have you back on the show in about 60 days just to see what's going on.
I'd like to do that. It's always good to have a mentor looking over your shoulder and give you a little kick in the eye and then to keep you going. Yeah.
You don't seem like like somebody I would need to kick in the butt.
No,
You seem like you're pretty motivated.
Self-sufficient, yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you. I appreciate you calling in too.
Well, my pleasure. And you guys are doing a great job. My daughter, who's a super CrossFit, all that stuff, and her boyfriend the same. And they're listening now to your show. So when will this be? I assume it's being
Next
played
week?
at some point in time.
Yeah,
Next
I
week?
can tell you the date.
Yeah,
It'll
definitely.
be, September 26th.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, I've got about 800 friends that have strokes and about 800,000, I should say, and about 250,000 that suffer with PF. I'll make sure most of them know about it.
Right on.
Wow.
Well, Bill,
Thank you,
we're
Bill.
going to stay in touch with you, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right,
it up,
guys.
Bill.
Thank you.
Great
You got
talking to
it.
you.
All right. Bye-bye.
You got it.
He's doing really good.
My favorite.
Yeah, so
favorite,
cool to-
favorite.
I
demographic.
we didn't need to add any more to that because I think the advice you gave was already perfect. But I like the idea though, the heavier weight with just like one rep.
That's right.
I'd even probably have him try and do like a hold for 3 to 5 seconds at the end of that rep. Like it would be a press.
The key.
Hold it for a couple seconds, set it down, rest. Like
Yeah,
you're saying.
the key with that is this is true for any
More true anaerobic.
That's
type
right.
training,
This is true for anybody who's strength training. You want to keep them anaerobic. That's what builds muscle. Now, the challenge with someone who has oxygen delivery issues
is by rep 3, he's probably already getting aerobic.
That's right.
Fatigued, yeah.
That's the oxygen's not getting there, and it becomes something completely different. You don't feel good or whatever. So you're doing one rep, you're waiting, and you're doing another rep, and you're waiting. Even long holds sometimes can cause that to happen.
Yeah,
So
that's why it wouldn't be very long, like 3-5 seconds
yes,
at most.
Stability.
Yeah.
100%. So I had some success with working out that way, and we saw great strength gains. Whereas before it was like what stopped us was the lack of oxygen.
Yeah.
And, when you've got scarring in your lungs, it's like, you can improve VO2 max through other methods, but because the lungs themselves are not
Very
absorbed,
limited.
especially if it's progressing over time, it's very difficult.
I mean, respect to him for using free weights still. Like
great.
that was impressive. Yeah.
Super awesome, man.
Our next caller is Benjamin from Texas.
What's up, dude?
What you doing, Ben?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Good. How can we help you?
Yeah. So I shot an email a few weeks ago. I'll break it down because it was kind of long-winded. But I'm getting married in October, and I've just been having a really difficult time, I guess, just in general with health and fitness. Right now, I'm 26, 6 feet tall, about 180. I grew up, doing sports and being pretty athletic and active all the time. And since graduating college a few years ago, I've sort of put on a little bit of weight that I'm just not used to, and it's been really hard to keep it off, especially going into my wedding. And so I've, really what I feel like is dialed into health and fitness with watching what I eat, eating healthy. Me and my fiance go on a lot of long walks. I go to the gym when I can, and I'm just still not able to lose the weight, especially around my midsection. And I think in the last year, especially, I've just kind of developed a unhealthy relationship with food, and that's kind of tied into a little bit of body dysmorphia. And then on top of all that, just getting inundated with like an overabundance of information online about what works and what doesn't in terms of health and fitness, and what I need to be doing. Some saying working out 5, 6, 7 days a week. Others saying you only need to do a couple. Others doing like keto. Others doing just whole foods and stuff. So it's just kind of a lot to parse through. And I was just hoping for a little bit of guidance on what's most important and how I can also tackle the mental challenge of not being too hard on myself, and seeing myself, I think, as others see me.
Yeah, dude. I'm glad you mentioned the last part about the kind of the relationship feeling a bit dysfunctional. I could hear it right out the gates as you started talking. I mean, you're 6'1", you're 6 foot, 180 pounds. You're fine. Most people would say you're fit. But this is not about what you're doing that's wrong or even what's right. This is about letting go. You're going to have to let go of all that stuff. Now, if your fear is if you let go that you're going to somehow go in this crazy opposite direction, I mean, that may happen. It's unlikely. What's more likely to happen is you'll feel more at peace. So fitness and good health should not feel stressful. It should not cause anxiety. It should not be an obsession. If it is, it's not healthy. This is no longer a healthy thing. This is an unhealthy thing. So what does this look like moving? What does this look like moving forward? You would strength train 2 days a week, full body. You would continue walking. You wouldn't weigh yourself. You would stop studying yourself in the mirror, and you would try focusing on things that are higher and bigger than the workouts and the diet. And so you would just not focus on those things. Don't count macros. Don't, eat when you're hungry. Try to, eat things that are whole natural, and then take your focus off of it. Cause you're in the midst of it right now. I can tell. And
definitely
the wedding date is adding this other kind of pressure, which is undue. And I'm going to tell you this right now, you're going to get married. You're going to be a husband. You'll probably have some kids. And those things are far, far, far more important than, 5 or 10 pounds of body fat that you might think you have, or which you're probably good, dude. So you got to let go of those things and really commit to like 2 days a week of strength training, and then just stay active, and then take your eyes off of this, bro.
That's all.
That's it, dude. And take your eyes off of this.
Eat your protein first. So when you sit down at a meal, eat the protein first. Stick to whole foods. I saw in your email too. Absolutely, do not do 75 hard. That's the opposite direction. Okay, opposite. Like it's not. The last thing you need to do is a thing that's like super hard and regimen and tons of stuff every single day. It doesn't take very much, okay, to send a signal for your body to build muscle. If you strength train 2 full body a week, maybe 3 max, and you walk and you eat your protein first and you eat whole foods, it'll take care of the rest. It literally will. Yeah. That's it. You don't need to obsess over this. You don't need to get crazy and do a ton extra stuff. Just focus on those 3 things that we're talking about, and it'll do the rest.
And honestly, just take your eyes off this, dude. Like you go to the gym a couple days a week, full body, compound lifts, and then don't think about it. And just take your eyes off of it, because you're going down a path that's going to get worse. So what we have to do is disconnect. So just take your eyes off of it and focus on things that are bigger. Focus on your future wife, maybe whatever you're doing for work and career, what it's going to look like when we have kids. If you have a spiritual practice, focus on that, because that's bigger than you. And just take your eyes off of this right now, because this has become a tyrannical, for lack of a better term, God that is just it's beating you down. I could tell right when you started talking.
I'd love to have Doug put you in our private forum so we can help you through this process. That way, as you're going through it. And then, do you have any of the programs yet?
I don't. I actually just had ChatGPT do like a full body thing.
Okay.
We'll send you Maps Anabolic.
We'll send you Maps
Anabolic.
You.
Follow Maps Anabolic.
Awesome.
Yeah. Just do the 2-day-a-week version. That's your workout.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to do in the gym, and you'll get stronger. You're going to get stronger with that program. And the rest of the time, just stay active, but make the activity non-workout activity. In other words, if your wife if your fiance likes to hike or walk or bike, that's your activity. So make it relational, make it pro-relational activity for your exercise. That way it's not all focused on the workout. It's more like, oh man, I'm enjoying this thing with...
Let's just get up and move around, do something fun.
I'd like to have some accountability with you too. So I'd like to hear from you in the forum at least every other week. Just check in with us. And the things I care about is energy, strength, how you're feeling. I don't care how you look. I don't care about your weight. I want to know if you're getting stronger in the gym and how you feel, and just check in with us.
How's your fiance with fitness and all this stuff?
She's super into it. She works out a lot. She goes to Solid Core and loves that. Like I said, we go on a lot of long walks. We just moved back from Los Angeles, so we were able to go on a little bit longer walks when it wasn't 110 degrees. But yeah, we still love going on walks. I think we're both just full gear, like stress from the wedding. Like I said, we just moved back from LA to Texas to be back with our family. But along with that came new jobs, the wedding's in a month. So it's just like a lot of change all at once. And I think we're both just kind of in the thick of it right now. But not to sound like corny, I couldn't imagine doing it without her. And I would say that she does feel the same. So I think, like you guys said, just kind of taking a step back and leaning into that, and like focusing on the fact that maybe if I'm not eating perfect every day, it's because I'm going to my in-laws' house and we're having a big dinner together.
Yeah, dude.
Or,
That's right.
Getting to see my friends that I haven't seen in years.
That's it, man.
That's the important thing.
Far more important.
So we've been trying to.
Take a deep breath.
Go ahead.
You're about to marry. You're about to marry the woman you're going to spend the rest of your life with, and have kids with, and do life with. It's an amazing step, and this, take your eyes off of this. You go to the gym, and then when you're done with the gym, you don't think about it anymore, and just focus on the relationships around you. Those are the things that are going to last the longest. You're getting married in October. You guys going on a honeymoon?
We are. We're pushing our honeymoon back to March just so we can save up for a little bit more.
Okay.
But we're very excited. We're actually going to Tahiti, which is
good
like
for you.
the only time either of us are maybe ever going to go there, but we're going bigger, going home for the honeymoon, which we're excited for.
Good for you, Ben. Can we have you both on the show after you get married? I'd love to talk to you guys in October after you guys get married. Have you guys
absolutely
back on?
I'd love that.
All right, dude. Yep. Let's do that. Yeah. I'll have my assistant reach out. We'll have you and your fiance on at the time. She'll be your bride, your wife at that time. So
yes, sir.
Let's talk.
I appreciate it.
Check in with us in the forum. Doug's sending you Maps Anabolic, and we're sending you access to the forum. So check in with us. Just let us know you're doing it every couple of weeks. Okay.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys.
All right, Ben.
And I know you guys are men of faith, so I don't know if you wouldn't mind me asking if you could just keep me and my fiance in your prayers, or a prayer or anything like that. I would really appreciate it.
Oh, done deal. What's her name?
Her name's Hannah.
All right, man. No problem.
All right.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
You got it.
Ben.
Thanks, man.
Take care, dude.
I could hear it right as he start talking.
Yeah.
He's 6'1", he's 6 foot, 180 pounds. And he's like, I got this fat I can't get rid of.
Yeah,
like, uh-oh.
Yeah, no.
I know exactly what that feels like. It's a nasty, but you take your eyes off of it you do it, but then don't think about it.
Yeah.
And then it starts to lose its
Otherwise,
power over you.
it turns into a hardcore strict resist, and then it goes to binge. Hardcore restrict
Right,
and resist,
right,
and then binge. It's
right.
like with all the other things going
Nothing
on.
good comes out of it.
Yeah, nothing good
too
comes out of
extreme.
that. So I hope he checks in every couple weeks on the forum and stays with us with that. But you can tell guy's carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders, man.
Yep.
Our next caller is Daniel from Iowa.
How's it going, Daniel?
How you doing, Daniel?
What's up, man?
It's awesome. It's great to get to talk to you guys. Hopefully you guys can help me out.
Yeah, how can we help you?
Sure.
Well, I've been working out pretty consistently kind of my entire life. But I'd say over the past 9-10 months, after a workout, whatever muscle part I'm focused on for the day, about 30 or 40 minutes after I'm done exercising, I just experienced like pretty severe cramps in that area. And it can be like this simplest movement. Like I was driving home from work and I had my left hand on the steering wheel. I switched to my right hand. My pec just freezes up. I had to pull over to the side of the road. It like 2 minutes just to get it so where I could like use my muscle again. And then I have to be pretty conscious about it for the rest of the night, like all the way until the next day I wake up. Sudden movements will just freeze my muscles up. And I've tried a few different things and nothing seems to help at all. So it just keeps happening.
And this just like, when did this start happening?
It's about 10 months. It's been going on about 10 months.
And before that, you didn't have this issue?
Not to this extent. Like a lot when I was younger, I do pull-ups and for some reason I get cramps in the bottom of my foot, but like I could just eat a banana and good to go. I would be fine. But yeah, about 10 months, it's gotten pretty.
You've tried sodium,
Water,
magnesium,
right?
water. You've tried all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you had blood work done to look at things like kidney function, liver function?
I have had my blood work done. They did notice that maybe there was something going on with the kidneys. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
And potential for the liver. I went back in and got it redone after that, and they said it all looked pretty good. But it's still a problem.
Yeah, it's I would go back to the doctor and just make sure that everything's going on is okay with how
We need some more opinions.
electrolyte system is working, how the cells are communicating. Typically, with a client that would experience cramping, we would have sodium, a little bit of potassium, but mostly sodium before, during, and after a workout. And we would finish a workout with 15 minutes of static stretching of the muscle, where you're slow breathing, holding that stretch post workout. That would be the typical thing that I would do with a client that has somebody's cramping. This will happen sometimes to somebody who's deconditioned, and then they start training a body part again, and they'll get cramping. But the fact that you've been working out this whole time and it kind of suddenly started happening, I would go see another medical professional just to make sure that there's nothing that is underlying that we haven't identified.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could give you,
I know.
better
Direct
advice.
answer.
But
Is there anything? The only other thing I can think of is just like really severely overtraining right now. Like, are you doing anything out of the normal as far as like routine training, work? What's going on? Anything
I don't
new?
think so. I probably even lowered it a little bit. When I do exercise body parts, typically like 2 exercises.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
just the same day I do 2 chest exercises, 2 back exercises. I'm in there for just under an hour. So I don't think I'm really overdoing it.
No.
Too much.
Yeah, you're
So
fine.
I don't want to waste my time while I'm in the gym, so I do tend to try and go as heavy as possible. I think I'm in there like too much.
Yeah, that's not.
yeah, and you don't get cramps in the muscles you don't train?
Not generally, no.
Okay.
No, it lasts about a day, and then the next morning it'll be all right. But if I am not conscious with that muscle, they'll just like seize up. My bicep will just seize up, and I can't use it for 3 or 4 minutes, and then I have to pay attention to it. So I use it in the smallest fashion, and it'll just go right back.
Up. Yeah, the person I would get general blood work, which it sounds like you did, and then the person I would go to first would be a neurologist.
Yeah.
And it I would start there just to see if they can find anything.
Yeah, we got to figure this out.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish I could give you more
I'd
help.
love to hear back after you do that, Daniel. Anytime we have somebody who we can't give the for sure answer right away, I'm always so curious if we get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that. And then we'll have you back on. We can talk about it so we can help anybody else that potentially is going through the same thing.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
You got it.
Daniel.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
man.
Yeah, interesting.
Wow, it's a conundrum.
Yeah, you just want to make sure there's nothing neurologically going on.
Exactly.
If he's hydrating, he's taking the sodium, he's not overtraining.
I didn't ask if he's sweating normal. Like, I don't know if that's, much of a factor.
Some
but,
medications
something.
sometimes medication, so I didn't ask him if he started any new medication. Sometimes that can cause it. It could also be nerve impingement or some kind of a neurological.
Yeah, but
thing
most
that's going
likely
on.
if it's that, it would be on the same side consistently or whatever like that.
That's right. It's the muscle that's being
The muscle that's being worked. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium. Like these are the nutrients to look
deficiency
at.
or some neurological
Or
issue.
too much.
Like,
Sometimes too much can cause stuff like this. So if his body's not getting rid of calcium, enough, but I would go neurologist because they would see that typically in a general blood test.
Yeah.
I hope we hear back.
Yeah,
Whenever we have somebody that I
opinions.
feel like we can't figure it out, I want to know. It's not that often.
It's frustrating.
Our next caller is Nora from Minnesota.
Hi, Nora.
Hi, Nora.
How you doing, Nora?
Oh, this is fun.
How can we help you?
Okay, perfect. Well, longtime listener here. Thank you for the years of solid, no BS advice that's kept me grounded through my fitness journey and phases, including my pregnancy at 41. I gained only what was needed, was back in my jeans a week postpartum, and my doctor even skipped routine geriatric testing because my baby and I were so healthy. That mindset came largely from what I learned from you guys. So thank you. Now at 45, I'm in perimenopause. I'm on HRT. It's going great. I love testosterone. I love progesterone. And I'm still fully committed to lifting. I've made the shift from grinding away on my Peloton tread and bike to heavy lifting with a squat rack purchased a few years ago. So thanks for your influence. And I haven't looked back since. That said, I'm in uncharted territory. So social media is flooding me with messages that midsection weight is basically unavoidable for women in this stage of life. And honestly, it's chipping away at my motivation. I'm seeing changes only around my waist, and it's got me wondering, is this just what happens now? Or are there things that I can actually control? So I'd love to hear your take on what's actually going on with fat distribution during perimenopause. What can I realistically do to continue feeling strong and confident in my body? And how do I shut down the narrative that change and progress are just out of reach right now? Thanks for everything you guys have helped me with so far. I truly trust your approach and would love some guidance in this next chapter.
Thank you. Thank you.
right.
I love your question. Okay, so before I answer your question, I'll ask you a question. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay. What are you going to tell your kid about social media?
Right. Yeah. Well, hopefully she never sees it.
All right. So turn it off. Don't let it affect you in that way. It's full of crap. Like so much of the information on there, especially to women, is so terrible and so damaging and makes somebody like you who's fit and healthy. You don't look 45. You look exceptional. I can tell you're lean. You're probably, and I would bet money, being very overcritical of yourself. And so it's not true. It's not true. Now, does body fat distribution change as we get older? It does, but we get older. What can affect that? Hormones. Now you're on hormone replacement therapy, so that will have an impact on body fat distribution. Okay.
Okay.
So how long have you been on it?
For better or for worse?
For better. How long have you been on it?
For about 9 months now.
Yeah, you'll start to notice changes probably soon, a year, 2 into it. Yeah, so testosterone, progesterone, you could take a peptide for growth hormone release like testosterone. That can also make a difference. And so that'll help with body fat distribution because the changes in hormone profile is why you see this sudden change in body fat distribution in women where it's like less on the hips and thighs, and then more suddenly around the midsection.
belly.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, aside from that, because you're doing the hormone replacement therapy, so you've got that covered. aside from that, the goal is like what we talk about on the show: get strong,
build
muscle.
strength,
build muscle. When's the last time you went on a calorie surplus for yourself?
It's a good question. I've got obviously a young kid around, so I feel like I am on a calorie surplus, like eating, all these additional toddler snacks that have been around, although I've been slowly eliminating them out of the household and that whatnot. But probably one where it's actually been like focused and dedicated. I don't know that I've ever done that.
Yeah. I knew that. I asked you that question.
Okay.
I knew the answer. Yes, I knew the answer to that.
Yeah,
so
be a good idea.
let's put you on a calorie surplus. Let's reverse diet you and build some muscle. By the way, that helps with fat loss.
Got to get you in our muscle mommy group if you're not in there or not. Have you joined yet?
Okay, I am not.
You got to get in there. We're on there every day right now for the 7-day kind of kickoff for it. And so, the link is musclemommymovement.com. Just go in there, take the quiz. And it doesn't matter what program of ours you're following. It's literally just for women that are trying to build muscle and be healthy and fit. And so
if you went in a calorie surplus, a nice controlled one, like 300 calories above maintenance, hitting your protein targets, not going zero carb, right? Having some carbs with it because you need that energy and that fuel, eating adequate fats. What you're going to see is great changes in the body, especially on testosterone. You're going to build muscle. Through that process. You'll get probably leaner. The shape will change. Building muscle is like the magic formula for almost everything.
Gotta feed that though, yeah.
But you got to feed it. Do you have any idea how many calories you eat regularly now?
I am probably in that like 2,000 to 2,200 calorie range.
So I would track. Now, don't get carried away with tracking.
Okay.
I get the impression that if I had you track all the time, that would also cause.
I used to a few years ago, pre-baby, I used to track pretty significantly.
So get an idea of what you're averaging right now.
Okay.
And then go 300 calories above that. And then hit your protein first and aim for that target. Don't get carried away, though, with the tracking, okay? So once you get a general idea of what that looks like, then let go of it and just kind of eat around that. And then monitor your strength. If you're getting stronger in the gym, you're doing great. You're crushing. By the way, the other thing that affects body fat distribution is insulin sensitivity or insulin resistance, okay? Hormone replacement therapy helps with that, but something that helps the most with that is building muscle.
Okay.
Building muscle makes us so sensitive to insulin. And so that also helps a lot with body fat distribution. In fact, when you look at women who've strength trained properly and fed themselves and built muscle, like I'm talking about like women who really chase strength, then went through perimenopause and menopause, they often don't run into body fat distribution challenges. They might have a little bit, but not like the average woman, and many of them don't go on hormone replacement therapy. It's the muscle.
Oh, interesting.
It's the muscle that makes the big difference. So I would go surplus, get stronger, and turn off social media, Nora. You're doing great. Yeah. You're doing really good.
Do you have one of our MAPS programs yet?
I do. Okay. Yes. I've got, I'm trying to think here. Whatever the basic one is.
MAPS Anabolic?
Yes, exactly. Okay, yes, good. I have that one.
Do you have MAPS Muscle Mommy?
Well, she'll get
I
it.
Do not.
She'll get it when she goes in the group.
Yeah, get in the group and you'll have
get in the group, and it has it in there, so you have it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right.
I'll do that.
See you. We'll be looking for you tonight.
We're going to be on tonight.
We'll be on there, so we'll be looking for you tonight.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right. Thanks for calling in.
All right, Nora.
Thanks, guys. Right. Very helpful.
You got it. Social media sucks, man.
I
know. It makes me so mad.
So exhausting.
I mean, she's obviously fit. She's obviously lean.
You can tell she's fit.
She looks great, right? She's got a kid, and it's like I'm getting flooded. You can hear the verbiage, right? I'm getting flooded with all this stuff on social media, and I'm getting so worried. It's like, oh my God, it really distorts our perception.
I mean, how common is that though for our female clients that feel like they have a little bit, 5 to 10 or 15 pounds they want to lose, and so they're right on, but they're relatively fit anyway. But they've stayed relatively fit because they've kept their calories low for so long, and they've never really gone on a bulk because they think in their head, well, I need to lose just 5 to 15 pounds. Right. Why would I go on a bulk? And I'm just struggling to get this. And like, this is what will help someone like this
so much
is to go. And by the way, everybody, I wouldn't say everybody, but a large portion of the women we have over 400 women in there right now. This is what they're kind of going through because many of them have never done like a proper reverse diet and they need to build muscle. Even though their goal is to lose body fat, many of them need to reverse diet first. And so she'll fit right in with a lot of what's going on in
totally. There. All right. I know you liked that episode. If you did, check this one out. Stop doing 3 sets of 12 to build muscle and do this instead. You guys want to guess?
stop doing the 3 sets of 12 and do this instead. With that intro, my guess is you're going to tell people to change the rep range
5
up
by
to 5 by 5 or low rep range.
Do you guys remember
the
when
angle you're going?
Yeah, so oftentimes we get stuck in like a set count and a rep count or a range that's